Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome to the another lecture, and here is your faculty, CA Rohit Grover, again welcoming you to the another lecture on rapid revision batch on our paper number 3, Advanced Auditing and Professional Ethics. Now, I'm going to make you introduce today the very most important topic that we were all waiting for since long, and you all know that this is one of the biggest amendment which came in our ICA portion. Now, when it comes to this topic, the name of the topic is known as Caro 2020, right or not? You all know everything about Caro 2016, and you all know that Caro 2016 was already replaced by the Caro 2020 2 years back. But sir, if it was replaced 2 years back, why it has been introduced today? So if I have to tell you the little bit of history and background of the Caro, first try to understand that I still remember 25th February 2020. 25th February 2020, just 1 month before the end of the financial year of 1920, the notification by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs came that ki Caro 2020 has come and it is going to replace Caro 2016. Then sir, what happened? Why it was not made applicable from the 1920 financial year? What happened in the very next month? As you all know that in the March month, what happened? The lockdown happened. Due to the lockdown, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs made a declaration that ki Caro 2020 will be deferred by 1 financial year. So instead of being applicable from 1920 financial year, it was supposed to be made applicable from 2021 financial year. Sir, after that what happened? After that, again in the March 2021 May, again MCA notification came कि Caro 2020 is not going to be applicable for 2021 financial year. Let's make it applicable from 21-22 financial year. It means Caro has been deferred by Ministry of Corporate Affairs for almost 2 financial years. So what it was supposed to get implemented from 1920 financial year, now it will get implemented from 2021 financial year. Sorry, it was supposed to get implemented from 1920 financial year. Now it is now implemented from 21-22 financial year. It means right now, today, if I'm not wrong, this is 23rd April 2020 today, 420. 23rd April means now 22-23 financial year has started. It means right now the audits of 21-22 financial years are going on. So this is the first time for all the CA fraternity who are in practicing, and as well as for the student. For the first time, it is applicable for your examination also, and at the same point of time, it is applicable first time for our practical scenario also. So Caro 2020 is not only new for you, Caro 2020 is new for us also in terms of applicability and in terms of applicability for you in the May 22 examinations. Clear everyone? Because up to December 21, the Caro 2016 only was applicable. Now, let us understand the next topic. Now, sir, are there any major changes between the Caro 2020 and Caro 2016? Let me tell you one thing. There are no major changes at all. Only the changes have come in the clauses, little bit of clauses. 7 clauses has been introduced. Sir, if we are not wrong, Caro 2016 mein there were 16 clauses. Now Caro 2020 mein we heard that ki there are 21 clauses. So difference is only 5 clauses. Sir, 2 clauses also eliminated, and 2 clauses when got eliminated, it means 16 minus 2, 14, and 7 clauses got added, means 21 clauses have been added in the Caro 21. And not only that, in the Caro 2020, so many new things have been added from the propriety point of view, which you have to understand for the purpose of your May 22 examination. So in my opinion, if I have to tell you, you should minimum expect a 5-mark question, 5 to 6 marks area going to come from this particular topic called Caro 2020, because it's been 2 years ICA was waiting to test you people. And if you remember, in your previously printed study by the ICA, only the Caro 2020 was made included in the material, but unfortunately due to the 2-time deferment given by the MCA, this was not yet implemented. But now the wait is over. May 22 you are going to get tested with the Caro 2020, and along with that we are also going to be implementing the Caro 2020 from our practical practice point of view also. So now let us understand, sir, what is Caro 2020. Now, as you all know, the section number 143 subsection 11 defines the company audit report order. It is company's audit report order 2020. Sir, why it is given under a section? Remember one thing, central government has ordered the statutory auditors. Try to understand why the word order is being written at the end. Central government has ordered the statutory auditors ki bhaiya, while doing the statutory audit, if you are doing the statutory audit of these following companies, then in that case, Caro 2020 reporting also you have to do. So central government has ordered the statutory auditors to do the additional reporting on those 21 areas which the central government is looking for. But it is not applicable to all the entities. It is only applicable to those entities which are covered under section number 143, subsection 11. It means there are some set of entities which are not covered under Caro 2020. It means those companies may Caro reporting is not required. Sir, not required. Point number one. Point number two, sir, is Caro a 100% testing? Answer is no. Caro is also a test sampling, or it is also a test checking kind of concept. Are you getting the point? Point number three, sir, is Caro a normal audit? Answer is no. Caro derive its roots from the word called propriety. So Caro is basically a propriety audit. Question number four, sir, is Caro a separate audit report? Answer is no. Caro is not a separate audit report. You only have to issue the statutory audit report. In the statutory audit report, you are going to add one annexure at the end. That is a reporting under Caro 2020, section number 143, subsection 11. So no separate report is required. Caro 2020 is a part of your statutory audit report which you are going to issue as per SS 700 series. Is it correct? So these are some of the clarifications which you need to have before understanding the Caro 2020. Now, let us understand, sir, when the Caro 2020 came. As I already told you, the first time the notification for the Caro came on 25th February 2020. So what is the date, everyone? The date is 25th February 2020. But sir, the first financial year from where the Caro 2020 will be made applicable is the 21-22 financial year. Sir, you are saying the date is that and financial applicability is this. As I already told you, 2 times the Ministry of Corporate Affairs have deferred the Caro 2020. That's the reason the date is different, and at the same point of time, applicability is different. So what is the date you have to remember? 25th February 2020. And the most importantly, what is the first financial year when the Caro was made applicable? Caro was made applicable from 21-22 financial year. It means all the financial statements which started from 1st April 2021 ending on 31st March 2022, those financial statements are going to be reported under Caro 2020. Clear, sir? Yes, sir, very much clear. Now the question arises, sir, what are the major differences, if you can tell us, between the Caro 16 and Caro 2020? You can see that in the Caro 16 there were 16 clauses. How many clauses were there? 16 clauses were there. But in the Caro 2020 there are 21 clauses. Sir, the difference is only 5. No, the difference is so many. 7 new clauses have been added. It means 2 existing clauses were removed and so many new things have been added in the existing clauses that you are going to come across in the next half an hour, 45 minutes of discussion, right? Next one. So what is the next date? Caro 2016 was applicable from the 15-16 financial year, and it is applicable from the 21-22 financial year. Sir, why you are telling us about anything about 2016? Remember one thing, ICAI has a tendency to ask you the difference between the two things when the one thing is getting replaced by the another. So that becomes my moral responsibility to make you understand कि भैया don't only talk about Caro 2020, have some little bit of information on Caro 2016 as well. तो Caro 2016 का date of notification was 29th March 2016. Caro 2020 का date of notification is 25th February 2020. How many clauses? 16 clauses. How many here? 21 clauses. What was the first financial year when it was made applicable? It was 15-16. And what is the financial year when it is now applicable? It is applicable from 21-22 financial year. So now I hope you already understood the differentiation of Caro 2020 from the Caro 2016. Next thing what you have to understand, sir, Caro 2020 is applicable to whom? Caro 2020 is applicable to all the companies including foreign companies specified under section 2 for subsection 42. So they are saying that ki if you are a company in India, then to Caro 2020 is applicable. But if you are a foreign company also in India, as specified under section number 2, subsection 42 of the Companies Act 2013, it means a company incorporated outside India, but having a place of business in India, acting on its own or via agent, doing the physical business or via electronic media, then in that case, being a foreign company in India also, the Caro 2020 will be applicable. So this is what the meaning of applicability on the left side. Now, sir, what is the meaning of non-applicability? So, bhaiya, if you are a Section 8 company, if you are a charitable religious Section 8 company granted a license to operate as a Section 8 company by the central government of India, then in that case, Caro is not applicable to you. Caro is not applicable to you if you are a one-person company. Caro is not applicable to you if you are a banking company. Caro is not applicable to you if you are an insurance company. And Caro is not applicable to you if you are a private limited company satisfying 4 conditions put together. All the 4 conditions to be satisfied, then Caro 2020 will not be applicable to you. Is it clear, everyone? So, sir, should we repeat the non-applicability list? Yes, sir. Section 8, OPC, small, banking, insurance, and private limited company. Sir, what kind of possibility of error we may do in the examination? Let me tell you one thing. The first possibility of error is sometimes when we use the word OPC, small, dormant, the dormant word comes to our mind. The dormant also we write in the exception list. Answer is no. You don't have to write. Then second possibility is electricity, insurance, and banking. Nowhere it is written electricity company. Only the banking and insurance companies are those companies on whom Caro 2020 is not applicable. So Caro 2020 is not applicable on Section 8, OPC, small, banking, insurance, and most importantly, such private limited company on whom 4 conditions are required to be satisfied. Sir, if I have incorporated a private unlimited company, again repeating, if I have incorporated a private unlimited company, then Caro is not applicable. Is it? No. If it is a private unlimited company, Caro is automatically applicable. Exemption is not given to the private unlimited company. Exemption from the applicability has been given to the private limited company, which is satisfying the 4 conditions. It means if you are a private limited company satisfying these 4 conditions, Caro 2020 will not be applicable to you. Sir, can you please tell us the 4 conditions? Here it is. Condition number 1, that private company is neither a public neither a holding of a public company nor a subsidiary of a public company. So, bhaiya, you are a private limited company. Neither you should be subsidiary of any public company or nor you should be a holding of any public company. Is it clear? Condition number 1, neither a holding of a public company nor a subsidiary of public company. So, no change in this point when it is compared with Caro 2016. Next point. So, Caro 2020 का second conditions in case of private limited company, your total paid up share capital plus free reserves at any point of time, total paid up share capital plus free reserves shall not be exceeding 1 crore. So, third one, your outstanding borrowings in individual or in aggregate manner at any point of time shall not be exceeding 1 crore. Next one, your turnover including discontinued operations turnover, your revenue including discontinued operations turnover shall not be exceeding 10 crores. So, sir, if I am a private unlimited company, Caro is applicable. Sir, if I am a private limited company, then 4 conditions to be satisfied. Condition number 1, you should neither be a holding nor a subsidiary of a public company. Condition number 2, your total paid up share capital plus free reserves shall not be exceeding 1 crore. Sir, exactly 1 crore, not applicable. 1 crore, 1 rupee, applicable. Sir, your outstanding borrowing shall not also be exceeding 1 crore and your revenue including discontinued operations turnover shall not be exceeding 10 crores. So, neither a holding or subsidiary, 1 crore, 1 crore, 10 crore, not exceeding. It means up to these limits, Caro is not applicable to you. And remember, not one of the condition you have to satisfy all the 4 conditions. Clear, everyone? Yes, sir. Now, let us understand, sir, while doing the additions and deductions, while doing the calculation, what we need to take care of. When you are doing the calculation of the total paid up share capital, the formula is going to be this. Now, see, total paid up share capital is equal to equity share capital plus preference share capital minus calls in arrears minus calls in advance minus share application money pending allotment. This is a formula. Sir, what do you mean by free reserve? Free reserves, they are saying that include all the reserves. Sir, either revenue? Yes. Is it capital? Yes. DRR? Yes. Securities premium? Yes. Revaluation reserve? Yes. all the reserves which you are seeing on the liability side, all you have to club it out. But if there is a debit balance of P&L, again repeating, if there is a debit balance of P&L, first adjust that debit balance of P&L from the reserves. If the debit balance of P&L is more than reserves, then only you can adjust it with the capital. Remember, if the debit balance of P&L is given, it means losses of the company for the current year is given. First, satisfy or set off those losses with the reserves. If the current year losses are more than the reserves, then only you can set off with the capital. So first priority with the reserves, second priority with the capital. First to be set off with the reserves, again second to be set off with the capital. If the need arises, you are not directly allowed to get it satisfied or directly get it set off with the capital. Am I clear, everyone? Yes. So paid up share capital, free reserve, any doubt? No doubt. Next point, sir, borrowings, what do we have to include and what do we have to exclude? Everything you have to include. Everything, sir. Small borrowing, big borrowing, secured, unsecured, short term, long term, individually, aggregately. Every type of borrowing you have to add. Every type of borrowing. While doing the overdraft facility, while checking the overdraft facility, remember one thing, you have to take the gross overdraft facility to be taken. You don't have to deduct any FDs if given as a security. Next point. Even the credit card bills are also to be added. Remember everyone, all the types of borrowings to be added. All the types of borrowings to be added. Next one, turnover. Sir, turnover ke case mein continued operation turnover you have to add. Discontinued operation turnovers also you have to add. Service related turnover you have to add. Two things you have to reduce. So what are the two things? Remember, only and only these two things you have to reduce. One, if any trade discount is given, and second thing, if any sales return is given. So if the trade discount and sales return is given, you have to reduce it. Otherwise, you don't have to reduce anything. Is it clear? Yes. Next point. Most importantly, next point. Ki sir, what if the GST and custom is included in the turnover? So remember, bhaiya, GST and custom is not your revenue. It is a government turnover, government's revenue, then reduce it. Sir, if it is separately given, ignore it. Clear? So these are the various things you have to understand while calculating the Caro ka private limited ka 4 conditions. So again repeating, sir, Caro ka date bata do sir ek baar fir se, 25th February 2020. Are you getting it? 26th February 2020. Next one, sir, Caro card first financial year, 21-22 financial year. So Caro is applicable to whom? All the companies including foreign companies. So Caro is not applicable to whom? Section 8, OPC, small, banking, insurance, such private limited companies which are able to satisfy 4 conditions. Sir, all the 4 conditions? Yes, sir, all the 4 conditions. Sir, can you repeat the conditions? Yes, sir, I can repeat. Point number 1, neither a subsidiary nor a holding of a public company. Second one, your total paid up share capital plus free reserve shall not be exceeding 1 crore. Third one, your outstanding borrowing shall not be exceeding 1 crore. Fourth one, your revenue including discontinued operations turnover shall not be exceeding 10 crores. Clear cut, understood. And sir, what if you have a private unlimited company? Caro is automatically applicable. Sir, what if I am an NBFC, non-banking finance company? Caro is applicable. But sir, I was NBFC. Caro was made applicable to me. Later on during the financial year, I converted my NBFC into a bank. Caro is not applicable. So from the date of application, from the date of conversion, for that financial year, Caro will not be applicable onwards. Next point, sir. Sir, is Caro applicable to the consolidated financial statement? No, no, no. Caro is only and only prepared for the standalone financial statement, not applicable to consolidated financial statement, except there is one small clause, clause number 21, given under the Caro 2020, in which I will tell you to refer the financial statement. Next point, sir. Sir, it does not apply to the CFS. In case of, remember one thing, in case of branches, put together, you have to see these limits. Because sometimes the company try to avoid the Caro applicability and they will divide the turnover bit among the branches. But when you are taking the branches put together, you have to see the limit. Right, everyone? Caro 2020 is not separate. It is an extra part of your audit report. Caro 2020 applies to NBFC. I already told you, but NBFC later on converted to bank. Caro will not be applicable. Next one, Caro 2020 has to be seen from the which point of view, everyone? Propriety point of view. Again, I'm telling you, propriety point of view. Like we do this kind of audit in case of PSU's audit in the last video, here also you have to check it from the propriety point of view. Next one, sir, Caro 2020 mein how many clauses are there? I already told you, sir, as compared to Caro 2016, 5 extra. No, sir, no 5 extra, 7 extra, because 2 clauses of the Caro 2016 has been eliminated. So 16 minus 2 makes it to 14 plus 7 added makes it to 21. तो सर व्हाट आर द 21 क्लॉजेस? तो भैया बहुत सिंपल तरीके से करेंगे एंड आई विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. योर आईज शुड बी ऑन द नोट्स एंड लिसन टू मी प्रॉपरली एंड आई विल मेक श्योर दैट कि कारो 2020 के all the clauses will go inside your head. Now point number 1, sir, कारो 2020 का clause number 1 talks about PPE, property, plant and equipment. Sir, PPE में what is the problem? The auditor has to ask some few set of questions. Sir, question number 1, do you maintain reliable records relating to your plant, property and equipment or no? Company is saying yes, then show me. Do you have all the properties in your name? Company is saying yes sir, some are in my name, some are in the name of other person. In whose name you have taken the property? Why you have not taken it in your name? What is the period of holding? What is the net carrying value of that property? Are you getting the point? What is the description of that property? That is what the question I am going to ask. Third case mein I am going to ask the company, okay, do you maintain the proper records? Yes sir, they said we maintain the proper records. Do you maintain the particular location of the assets also, where they are located? Yes. Do you maintain a separate record for the intangible assets? Yes sir, we maintain it. Then my another set of questions to the entity is, okay, sir, do you do the physical verification at the regular intervals? They are saying yes sir, we do it. Then my fourth question is, sir, कि what is the condition, what is the status of those pending litigations relating to the benami properties? Is there any benami property on which the litigation is pending? If pending, tell me the status. And what is my next question? कि if you have done any revaluation of the asset and the revaluation is bhaiya greater than 10%, then please make me available your registered valuers report. So my few set of questions were, okay, do you maintain the proper records? Yes. Do you maintain the location records? Yes. Do you maintain the separate records for intangible? Yes. Can you show me the title or document of title papers for the asset? Yes. But some of the documents where I saw someone's other name is there. So I asked the company, why did you not take these assets on your own name? Why it is in the other's name? What is the description of the property? What is the period of the holding? What is the gross carrying value of that property? Is there any pending litigation relating to benami properties going on in the court of law? Next point, do you do the physical verification at the regular intervals or not? And next question, did you do any kind of revaluation of your asset? They said yes sir. How much? 8%. Okay, but how much? 11%. Show me your registered values report. So these are the various set of questions which you have to ask in the clause number 1 relating to property, plant and equipment. Sir, moving to the clause number 2. In the clause number 2, inventory, question will remain same. Do you maintain the proper records of inventory? They said yes. Sure, they said yes. Do you do the physical verification of inventory at the regular intervals? They said yes. Then my third question is, please tell me, did you find any discrepancies in the record? They said yes sir, sometimes we found some discrepancies, but did you get it notified in your books of accounts? They said yes. Then my most important question I asked them is, did you give your inventory as a security for a particular loan or called working capital loan more than 5 crore rupees? They said yes sir. If the inventory has been given as a security for obtaining a working capital loan of more than 5 crore rupees, then there are two things the auditor has to check. Point number 1, do you file quarterly stock statement with the lender or not? They are saying yes sir, we are filing the quarterly statement. And next most important thing, whether you have matched it with the books of accounts. If it is not matching, give me the details. Again repeating, proper records of the inventory are maintained or not? Regular verification at the regular intervals, you are doing it or not? Are you finding any discrepancies? Did you note it down in a proper value or not? And if the discrepancies are more than 10%, make sure that they are properly adjusted in the books of accounts. Did you take any working capital loan of more than 5 crore rupees by giving the inventory as a security? Then do you file the quarterly statements with the bank or not? And at the same point of time, are they matching with the records or not? Yes. Clause number 3, very important clause. We can call it this as a related party loans. If the company has given any investment, guarantee, security to any person, to the entity, to the partnership firm or LLP, which is his related party, then this clause number 3 will come. In the clause number 3, I have so many set of questions. What are the set of questions? Terms and conditions are regular or not? They are saying regular. Do you get the regular repayment of your interest and interest payment? They are saying yes, regular. Do you have any irregular related party loans? Yes sir, we have. How many days overdue? They are saying more than 90 days. If it is irregularity or overdue more than 90 days, did you take corrective measures or not? They said yes. I asked them what corrective measures you have taken. They said that we have given the legal notice. I said them ki corrective measures necessarily need not be a legal notice. Even a legal reminder is also enough. Don't send the legal notice, just a reminder is also enough. That is called corrective measures. Then I asked them very simple question. Please, can you please give me the list of those related party loans as compared to your total loans? They said that yes, sir, related party loans are 50 crores, total loans are 500 crores. Then I asked them another question. Can you please calculate the percentage? They said that 10% of the total loans. So these are the various things which I am asking from the company to give me the details of. Did you get the point or not? So sir, what are the related party loans related points? Related party loans related points, are the terms and conditions regular or not? Is there any overdue for more than 90 days? If yes, did you take the corrective measures or not? Are your interest payments and principal repayments regular or not? Next one, what is the total amount of related party loans you have given? Calculate it on the total loans and give me the percentage wise. Are you getting the point? So this is what the various questions you have to see it in the clause number 3. So sir, what was clause number 1? Plant, property and equipment related, 5-6 questions. 2-3 questions relating to inventory. Clause number 2, 2-3 questions relating to related party loans. Now, clause number 4. Sir, clause number 4 mein we can't discuss anything because it is purely and purely connected with your CA final ka law. So if you are doing the CA final ka law, then in that case, read the section number 185 over there, read the section number 186 over there. If there is a compliance or if there is a non-compliance of 185 or 186, we have to report it under clause number 4. And the very most important thing you have to tell you that ki most of the people think that ki sir, Caro is to be reported only when there is a negative information in the Caro report. No. Who told you that ki only in case of negative only you have to report in the Caro? Whether it is a positive information or negative information, in both the cases you have to report it under Caro. You have to mandatorily report on every clause, either it is a positive information or it is a negative information. Is it crystal clear, everyone? Yes, sir, crystal clear. Okay, chalo, let's do the next point then. Sir, clause number 5, clause number 4, let me tell you one thing. If there is a compliance or non-compliance of section number 185, let me give you the brief idea. Section number 185 talks about loan to the directors and 186 talks about intercorporate loans. So there are some limits prescribed in these two sections. 185 says that ki generally loan to the director should not be given, but in some cases it is allowed. And 186 says that there is a limit on the board of directors relating to giving the intercorporate loans, and if they want to give more than their limits, then they have to pass a resolution in the general meeting. So all that you have to understand in section number 185 and 186. If there is a compliance or if there is a non-compliance of 185 or 186, then clause number 4 mein you are going to report. So out of 21 clauses, I have made you understand 4 clauses. So what is the clause number 1? Plant, property and equipment. Clause number 2, inventory. Clause number 3, related party. Clause number 4, compliance of section number 185, 186. So clause number 5. Clause number 5 is related to deposits, and you know that deposit was one of the important chapter in your CA intermediate law, section number 73 to 76. So they are saying that 4 questions you ask the management. So what is the question number 1? Did you accept any public deposit? So my question number 1 to the management is, did you accept any public deposit? They said yes, sir. So if yes, did you follow the compliance of section number 73 to 76? They said yes or no, whatever the case may be. And did you follow the directions issued by the RBI when it comes to the public deposit taking or not? Yes. And then I told them, is there any order of the tribunal passed on your entity? Because sometimes the tribunal interface if you are unable to repay your deposits on time, or if you violate any of the provisions relating to 73 to 76. So these are my 4 set of questions which I am going to ask to whom? I am going to ask to the management. So tell me the 4 questions. Did you accept any public deposit or not? Second thing, did you follow the section number 73 to 76 or not? Question number 4, did you follow the RBI directions or not? And question number 4, whether any order has been passed by the NCLT or not. Yes. So clause number 6 mein, sir, clause number 6 is relating to cost records. Very important thing you have to understand this, sir. You don't have to examine the cost records. Examination of cost record is not our responsibility as a statutory auditor. We simply have to ask a very simple question to the management. Sir, do you maintain cost records? Management is saying, yes, we maintain the cost records. If you maintain, give me the WRL on that. Yes, you maintain the proper cost records under section 148, subsection 1 as per CRA 1 rules. Are you getting the point or not? So sir, examination, if it is not our responsibility, then who will examine the cost record? Bhaiya, cost auditor will be hired for that, na? We don't have to interfere our nose, or we don't have to poke our nose in the examination. We simply have to ask, do you maintain proper cost records or not? If you are a manufacturing, production, mining, extraction, assembling, processing company, so we have to just simply see that in the clause number 6. Sir, 1 to 6 ek baar revise karwa do. First one was relating to plant, property and equipment. Second one was relating to inventory. Third one was relating to related party loans. Fourth one was relating to compliance of section number 185, 186, that is loan to directors and intercorporate loans. Then clause number 5 was relating to public deposits. Clause number 6 was relating to cost records. Now clause number 7. Payment of statutory dues. What is clause number 7? Payment of statutory dues. Sir, in the payment of statutory dues, I have the 4 questions. 2 relating to undisputed dues and 2 relating to disputed. First of all, try to understand what do you mean by disputed and what do you mean by undisputed. I wanted to pay a tax of 1 crore rupees, but the income tax department is saying no, you have to pay the tax of 1.5 crore rupees. So out of 1.5 crore, I am also ready to pay 1 crore and IT is saying 1.5 crore. So up to 1 crore it is undisputed. Remaining extra 50 lakhs is disputed. So we are going to divide the tax into 2 parts. Dues into 2 parts. One is disputed dues, one is undisputed. It comes to the undisputed dues. I have the 2 questions to ask. Are you regular in payment of your undisputed dues or not? They are saying yes. Is there any undisputed due which is in pending for more than 6 months? So my 2 questions are over. Are you regular and are they pending for more than 6 months? Then I will come to the disputed dues, where your disputed dues are being conflicted and where the case is running right now, in which forum, in which court the case is going on. Question number 1 and question number 2, what is the amount of dispute involved? So 2 questions relating to undisputed dues and 2 questions relating to disputed. So what are the 2 questions? Can you please repeat again? Yes, are you regular in payment of your undisputed dues, and is there any undisputed due which is pending for more than what? 6 months. In relation to disputed dues, my 2 questions are, in which court or forum bhaiya your case is going on, and please tell me the amount involved in the dispute. Yes sir, over. Clause number 7. Clause number 8 is a new clause. Yes. Clause number 8 is a new clause. So what is the new clause? Unrecorded incomes. In this, there are 2 things you have to check. What are the 2 things you have to check? Thing number 1, I'm going to simply ask the management, do you have any unrecorded incomes which you have disclosed while any income tax assessment happened on you? Sometimes kya hota hai, company tries to hide some income. So that unrecorded incomes which they have disclosed during the income tax raid or income tax assessment, I am asking them, is there any such kind of amount? If they agree this, yes, ki during the income tax assessment we came to know and we got to know or we disclosed some income, then my second question, did you make the proper recording of that unrecorded income now in your books of accounts or not? The first one is, did you disclose any income, unrecorded income to the IT assessment order or not? And if yes, did you make a proper recording of that in the books of account or not? That is clause number 8. Very simple clause related to unrecorded income. Now, clause number 9. Clause number 9 is relating to default in the repayment of dues. So, bhaiya, if you have taken any borrowings or loans or any kind of debt instrument from the financial institution, the responsibility of the entity is to ensure that there is a proper repayment of the dues. Now, in this case, what you are doing? In this case, you are simply asking the entity, did you repay your dues? They are saying yes. Are you any willful defaulter? They are saying no. If you are a willful defaulter, give me the lender wise detail and amount wise detail. Next one, are you a willful defaulter? They are saying no. Next one, whether the loans were used for the purpose other than, it means basically in this particular clause, we are checking the end use of the borrowing. Suppose you have taken the borrowing for some one purpose, but you are utilizing it for some another purpose. So that we are going to check it here. What is the next point we are going to check here? If there is any short-term loan, you are using it for the long-term purpose. And the next point we are checking that if the company has paid any loans relating to its components, if the company has paid any loan relating to its components, means what? The obligation was the components obligation, but the holding company paid on that behalf. Or if the company has raised any kind of loan by pledging the securities of its components. So my total 6 questions are there. Point number 1, if you have taken the borrowings, give me the lender wise and amount list. Are you a willful defaulter? Are you misutilizing the funds for the purpose for which you are using for the purpose other than for which it was raised? Next one, are you using short-term loans for the long-term purposes? And fifth question, did you repay any obligation of your component, and did you take any loan by pledging the securities of your component? Clause number 9. Clause number 10, application of funds. So bhaiya, if you have, my very simple question is, So भैया, if you have raised the money via IPO, FPO, private placement, preferential allotment, debt instruments and term loans. Again repeating situation, if you have raised the money via IPO, FPO, if you have raised the money via IPO, FPO, preferential allotment, private placement of securities and convertible debentures, then in that case make sure that you are not using the money for the purpose other than for which it was raised. Is there any default in the making the use of the money? Is there any delay in using the money, or is there any subsequent rectification? And next point, while taking the private placement ka money, did you follow the section number 42 and further issue of capital ka 62? Then in that case, if the money not utilized for the purpose for which it was raised, please report it, and if not utilized, detail and nature of the non-compliance. So basically I am asking the management, if you have raised any money via IPO, FPO, private placement, right shares, preferential allotment or term loans or any kind of, what do you say, debt instrument, convertible debentures, then in that case make sure that you should not have defaulted. If defaulted, tell me the details. Make sure you should not have delayed. If delayed, tell me the details. Make sure you should not have done subsequent rectification. If done, tell me the details. And if you have used that money for the purpose other than for which it is, then it is to be reported under clause number 10. तो सर टोटल 10 क्लॉजेस की रिवीजन करवा दो सर एक बार. क्लॉज नंबर 1 वाज रिलेटिंग टू प्लांट प्रॉपर्टी इक्विपमेंट, 2 वाज रिलेटिंग टू इन्वेंटरी, 3 वाज रिलेटिंग टू रिलेटेड पार्टी लोन्स, 4 वाज रिलेटिंग टू कंप्लायंस ऑफ 185 186, 5 वाज रिलेटिंग टू पब्लिक डिपॉजिट, 6 वाज रिलेटिंग टू कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड, 7 वाज रिलेटिंग टू पेमेंट ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी ड्यूज, 8 वाज रिलेटिंग टू अनरिकॉर्डेड इनकम्स, 9 was relating to default in the payment of repayment of borrowings, and 10 is related to application of funds. Now clause number 11, fraud reporting. Bhaiya 143 subsection 12. So we are simply asking the 3 questions to the management. Is there any fraud reporting under section 143 subsection 12 to you or to your audit committee? If they are saying yes, is it being reported by the auditor under section 143 subsection 12 as per the form number ADT4 within 60 days to the central government, or to you within 2 days? They are saying yes. Then do you have a whistleblower policy? They are saying yes. Did you obtain any whistleblower complaints and did you resolve them or not? Yes. So these are the 3 my simple questions relating to fraud reporting. This whistleblower wala point has been added in this particular clause. Clear everyone? So point number 1, any reporting 143 under section 12, under subsection 12, they are saying yes. If yes, as per ADT4 or not, they are saying yes. And make sure that if there is any whistleblower complaint, did you observe that complaint or not? Clause number 12 relating to Nidhi company. So bhaiya, in the clause number 12 relating to Nidhi company, my simple 3 questions are there. Point number 1, is the Nidhi company maintaining the ratio 1:20? Sir, what is this 1:20? 1:20 means own funds means 1, outside fund public deposit means 20. Nidhi company is not allowed to raise 20 times of its own funds. It is not allowed to raise more than 20 times its own funds. So if its own funds are 100 crores, you can maximum raise 2000 crores. So 20 times of your own funds only you are allowed to raise the public deposit. Condition number 1. Condition number 2, every Nidhi company has to maintain 10% of its total assets in the liquid form. Third question, if the Nidhi company has accepted any public deposits, is there any default in the repayment of deposit and repayment of interest? If yes, then briefly explain me or briefly give us the detail. Now, next one. Clause number 13. Clause number 13, bhaiya, related to related party loans. You all know that in the CA final law, there is one very important section called section number 188, related party transactions, not loans. Clause number 3 is dedicated to related party loans, but clause number 13 is related to related party transaction. So bhaiya, if you are doing any related party transaction under section 188 with any related party, ensure that audit committee approval is mandatory. That is omnibus approval in case of listed entities. Under the LODR regulations, audit committee and corporate governance chapter में. Are you getting the point? So section number 177 compliance and section number 188 compliance. If you are doing any related party transaction, make sure that audit committee ka approval must have been taken under section 177 if you are doing the transaction of section number 188. That is what clause number 13. तो सर 13 clauses का क्विक रिवीजन करवा दो जल्दी से. तो सर प्लांट प्रॉपर्टी एंड इक्विपमेंट है, इन्वेंट्री है, देन रिलेटेड पार्टी लोन्स है 3, देन 4 है अपना कंप्लायंस ऑफ 185 186, 5 है पब्लिक डिपॉजिट, 6 है कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड्स, 7 है सर डिस्प्यूट स्टैट्यूटरी ड्यूज, 8 है अनरिकॉर्डेड इनकम, 9 है डिफॉल्ट इन रीपेमेंट ऑफ बोरिंग्स, 10 है एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड्स, 11 है फ्रॉड रिपोर्टिंग, 12 है निधि कंपनी, 13 है रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन. सर क्लॉज नंबर 14. Clause number 14 is also the new one. If you remember, there was earlier Clause number 14 relating to money raised via private placement, that has been merged with the clause number 9, clause number 10 now, and clause number 14 was empty, so they introduced one new clause, maintenance of internal audit system. तो भैया my question is very simple to the company कि according to the nature and size of the entity, commensurating with your nature and size of the entity, do you have any good internal control system installed in your entity or not? They are saying yes. Is the external auditor thinking of using, is there any external auditor of your company thinking of using or the work of internal auditor or not? Is he expecting to consider the work of the internal auditor or not? If yes, give me the details. So what are my two questions relating to internal audit system? Is there any good internal audit system installed in your entity or not? And what is my next question? Whether internal auditor are considered by the statutory auditor or not. So in total 14 clauses are over. Clause number 15 everyone, non-cash transaction, section number 192. Again your CA final ka section in the law. If the company is doing any non-cash transaction with the director or the director is doing any non-cash transaction with the company, compliance of section number 192 is mandatory. If the transaction of non-cash transaction, if the transaction of 192 is not being carried out as per 192, then in that case what will happen? Then in that case you have to report it under clause number 15. Now, what is clause number 16 everyone? Clause number 16 is relating to NBFC. भैया हमने NBFC चैप्टर में क्या पढ़ा? हमने NBFC चैप्टर में ये पढ़ा था कि भैया being an NBFC you have to take a certificate or registration from RBI. Without obtaining the certificate or registration under section 45 IA, you are not allowed to commence your business activity. So we have to check that. And most importantly, if you are a CIC NBFC, sir, core investment company NBFC, where the 90% of the investment should be in the investment assets, then in that case if you are a CIC you have to maintain the criteria, either you are exempted one or the regular one. And how many CIC NBFCs are there in your group? These are my total questions. So whether it is registered or not, whether conducted any activity without obtaining the registration certificate or not, if you are a CIC core investment company, then maintain the criteria. Even if you are exempted, then also maintain. And how many CICs are there in the group of the total NBFCs? So sir, up to 16 clauses we are done with. So total 21 clauses are there. Now 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Again repeating. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All these clauses are what? These are the new clauses, completely new clauses. So sir, where the change has come? Clause number 8 newly added unrecorded incomes. Clause number 14 newly added internal audit system. And now the next 5 clauses are completely going to be new. So sir, what is clause number 7? बहुत ही simple clause है, cash losses. What is the name of the clause? Cash losses. So in clause make what we are asking? We are simply asking of 2 questions to the management. Do you incur or have you incurred any cash losses in the current year and in the immediately preceding financial year? So this year and last year mein did you incur any cash loss or not? That is what my question number 1. Question number 2, if yes, mention the amount of the cash flow. That is what clause number 17. तो जल्दी से clause number 17 द क्विक रिवीजन कर लेंगे सर. प्लांट प्रॉपर्टी एंड इक्विपमेंट है, देन इन्वेंट्री है, देन रिलेटेड पार्टी लोन्स है, देन कंप्लायंस ऑफ 185 186 है, देन डिपॉजिट्स है, देन कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड्स है, देन पेमेंट ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी ड्यूज है, देन 8th one is unrecorded income, that is a new clause है, 9th one is repayment of deposits, repayment of borrowings है, default in that, and 11th one है application of funds, 10th one is application of funds, 11th one is fraud reporting, 12th one is Nidhi company, 31 is related party transaction with the prior approval of central government. So sir, one clause eliminated, that is called managerial remuneration, which was there in clause number in the Caro 2016. So clause number 14 क्या है sir? 14 number clause is new internal audit system. This is also the new clause. 15 number clause non-cash transaction by the company with the directors and directors with the company, and that is compliance of section number 192. And 16 clauses relating to NBFC registration, certificate of registration, without which you are not allowed to commence any business activity. And how many CICs are there? Now clause number 17, just now I told you relating to cash losses. Which losses everyone? Cash losses. So भैया मेरा 2 questions to the management is कि did you incur any cash losses in the current year and previous year? If yes, give me the detail. Clause number 18, resignation of previous year's auditors. Remember one thing, if your previous year ka auditor has resigned, if your previous year ka auditor has resigned, I'm asking the question to the management, can you please tell me any auditor of the previous year, last year ka auditor has resigned or you have removed them? They are saying resigned. Then did he give, or what are the reasons of his resignation. Because remember one thing, 811 clause is also there in our professional ethics, clause number 8 part 1 schedule 1 mein, ki when you replace someone and become a statutory auditor of an organization, the incoming auditor has a responsibility to communicate with the outgoing auditor to understand the reasons of his removal or the reasons of his resignation. Same concern is being shown here, whether the statutory auditor resigned during the last year or not. If yes, whether the incoming auditor consider the issues, concerns and objectivity of the outgoing auditor. I'll tell you why. As an incoming auditor, try to understand one problem. As an incoming auditor, you may face the same problem what the outgoing auditor faced. Say for example, outgoing auditor was trying to give a modified opinion, but the company forced him not to give. He better thought to leave the company. So if the company can force the old auditor, they can also force you also. Suppose the last year ka auditor ka undisputed audit fees which was agreed upon between the auditor and the entity is not being paid. Undisputed one. If they have not paid the audit fees to that auditor, that may happen to you also. So it is for your benefit only ki bhaiya, if you come across that ki last year auditor has resigned, understand his objectivity, understand his concerns, understand his issues before accepting the current year audit. So this is what the purpose behind clause number 18. क्लॉज नंबर 19 क्या बोल रहा है कि कंपनी इज एबल टू मीट द लायबिलिटी, इसे हम सॉल्वेंसी क्लॉज भी बोलते हैं. तो भैया क्लॉज नंबर 19 में व्हाट द ऑडिटर इज डूइंग, ऑडिटर इज सिंपली गोइंग टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, he is talking to the management, he is talking to the TCWG, he is verifying the financial statement, he is calculating some financial ratios. All that homework why he is doing? He is doing all that homework to understand ki whether the entity is capable enough to pay off all its liabilities on the balance sheet date and exactly within the 1 year of the balance sheet date. It means, is the company solvent enough कि on the spot also if they have to pay their all liability, is it capable enough to pay its liabilities without any problem? And not only today, in the coming 1 year also, whether the company from that balance sheet date, at least for 1 year from the balance sheet date, is the company capable enough to pay its liabilities or not? Did you understand the point? So that is what the major two ideas. So what the auditor, how the auditor is able to raise the opinion on the basis of that, on the basis of financial ratios, aging of asset, expected date of realization of excesses, payment of liabilities, financial statement, and knowledge of board of directors and management plans. Whether the auditor having an opinion that there is no material uncertainty that company is capable to meet its all liabilities on balance sheet date, and when they fall due within the 1 year from the date of balance sheet. So basically it is a solvency clause. So we are testing the company on the solvency area. Now clause number 20 relating to CSR, everyone, corporate social responsibility. Here section number 135 का point is being raised. अब last and the most important point, सबसे important point है C. Suppose if there is an ongoing project of the CSR is going on, if there is an ongoing project of the CSR is going on, and if it is unspent money, if the project is going on and if it is an unspent money, the regulations, the particular amendment is already there in the CSR. But they are saying that ki whether the company has transferred the unspent amount to a fund specified under Schedule 7 of the Companies Act in respect of other than ongoing projects. Suppose there is a non-CSR project. There's a unspent amount. Let's say for example, you all know that ki 2% of the average of last 3 years net profit the every company has to spend. Suppose you are unable to spend the total amount. Then in that case, what they are saying ki if it is an other than ongoing project, then make sure that ki you should hand over the project money which is unspent back to the government. Because you can't keep the unspent money with you. Are you getting the point? You can't keep the unspent money with you. For keeping the unspent money with you, you have to make a declaration to the central government ki yes, we will spend it next year. But if you think that ki that amount cannot be spent next year also, it is completely unspent, it is your responsibility to raise or refund that money to the central government, to make sure that you are not allowed to hold the CSR subsidy if the central government or state government has given to you. If you are able to spend it, spend it. If you are unable to spend it and you give the assurance that yes, I'll be spending it next year by mixing with the next year CSR, then you can keep it with you. Otherwise, you have to return this money to the government. So these 2 points are relating to the CSR. only. CSR के ongoing, other than ongoing projects के related, these 2 points are there. Then clause number 21, everyone. So what is the clause number 21? So remember one thing, you are a parent company auditor and you were asking the parent management कि in your total group, is there any company in your total group, either your associate or joint venture or subsidiary, in whose Caro any adverse or negative remark is given by their auditor. So I am a parent company auditor. I'm asking the parent company management कि in your total group, is there any component whose auditor has given any adverse remarks in their Caro report or not? If yes, please indicate the details of those companies where the negative report has come and what is a para number where they have given the adverse remarks. So that brings an end to your clause number 21. So remember one thing everyone, total 21 clauses are there. Sir, last time quick revision karwa do. Sir, clause number 1 was plant, property and equipment. Clause number 2 was inventory. Clause number 3 was related party loans. Clause number 4, compliance of 185, 186. Clause number 5, public deposits. Clause number 6 is relating to cost records. Clause number 7, statutory dues. Clause number 8, unrecorded income. Clause number 9, default in repayment of borrowings. Clause number 10, application of funds. 11, fraud reporting. 12, Nidhi company. 13, related party transaction in accordance with the audit committee permission. Clause number 14, new one, the internal audit system. 15, non-cash transactions with the director, between the director and company. 16, NBFC. 17, cash losses. 18, any previous year auditor has resigned or not. 19, solvency clause, where you are capable enough to pay your liabilities or not. 20, relating to the CSR ka amount transferred to another account under schedule 7 on the projects other than ongoing projects. And last but not the least, any adverse remarks in any of the company in the group. If yes, what is the list, the name of the company and the paragraph in which their auditor has given an adverse or qualified remarks in their Caro report. Now, what is the most important thing you have to understand in the Caro? Bhaiya, Caro may be reporting paragraph is there. So in the Caro, whether you are getting an evidence, you are not getting an evidence, you are getting an positive opinion or you are getting a qualified opinion, you always have to report on each and every clause. So see what is being written. It is mandatory report on every matter whether positive or negative remarks are there. Second one, if it is negative remarks, if you are giving the negative remarks in the Caro, then you have to specify the reasons for the same. That we already know, we have a duty to give the reasons in case of modified opinion. And most importantly, if the auditor fails to express an opinion, agar मान लो auditor opinion ही नहीं दे पा रहा in particular of the clause, then he shall indicate the fact that he is unable to express an opinion and along with the reason why he is unable to express an opinion. With that, your Caro 2020 is over. I hope you all understood Caro 2020. So very important amendment. Make sure that you can revise. This is just hardly going to be a 55 minutes of the video, so make sure that you can revise it again and again whenever you want. Revise it 1 to 21, 21 to 1, and then talk to yourself, okay, if this question will come, what clause I have to remember. And most important thing, whenever any question on the Caro clause will come, remember the clause number you have to quote, para number 3. So all the 21 clauses are in the para number 3 of Caro 2020. So clause number, say for example, they have asked you the question कि company has not paid its GST on time. So sir, clause as per clause number 7, para 3 of Caro 2020 specified under section 143 subsection 11. If you will write this line in your answer, the examiner will go flat. So that is it from my side, everyone. I hope you are liking the RRB videos. So thank you so much. Please share it with your friends if they are looking for, and do let me know if they are in need of these videos. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for lending your patient ears. I'll borrow it again in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.